Lake Forest, ill. AP, the Pittsburgh Steelers' record is perfect. Their play is not. They come into today's game against the Chicago Bears not scoring the way they envisioned or forcing turnovers the way they would like. No one is going to be perfect, quarterback Ben Roethlisberger said. We know that. We'd like to be as good as we can be. You don't want to be playing your best football right now. You want to find ways to win football games and keep getting better, so your best football is being played hopefully in December and January. The offense has just 4 touchdowns through 2 games against Cleveland and Minnesota. The defense has 1 interception and 1 fumble recovery. Then again, the Steelers, 2-0, are unbeaten, with soaring expectations after losing to New England in the AFC title game. Their sights are set on their first Super Bowl appearance since the 2010 season and their first championship since the 2008 team won it all. But the more immediate issue is this: beating the rebuilding Bears 0-2. If that seems like a given, well, the Steelers have some letdowns against lesser teams in their recent past. One was even against Bears quarterback Mike Glennon when he was with Tampa Bay. Last year, Pittsburgh won its first 2 games, then got pounded 34-3 by Philadelphia. The Eagles went 7-9. In 2015, the Steelers were surging toward a playoff spot when they lost late in the season to a Baltimore team that finished 5-11. The loss to Glennon and the Buccaneers in 2014 was particularly bad. The Steelers fell 27-24 at home on a TD pass in the closing seconds. The Bucs won just 2 games that year. In 2013, Pittsburgh lost to Tennessee, Chicago, and Minnesota in a 0-4 start. All 3 finished .500 or worse, while the Steelers wound up 8-8. And in 2012, there were losses to Oakland and Tennessee, teams that finished 4-12 and 6-10, respectively. The Bears, meanwhile, are a combined 0-8 in 3 Septembers under coach John Fox. With a Thursday night game at Green Bay coming up, they could be 0-10. Here are some things to know as the Steelers try to remain unbeaten while the Bears seek their first win. Le'Veon's load, rust or no rust, Steelers running back Le'Veon Bell's season is off to a sluggish start after he skipped the entire preseason as part of a contract dispute. The 2014 All-Pro has just 138 total yards through 2 weeks, 19 yards less than he averaged per game in 2016, when his 157 yards per outing led the NFL. Maybe the biggest key for the Steelers isn't Bell's total production, but his number of touches. The team is 18-5 during his career when he gets at least 25 touches after he had 31 in last week's win over Minnesota. No change, Glennon remains the Bears' starting quarterback. The wait for Mitchell Trubisky continues. Glennon did nothing to quiet the debate over who should start with his performance in last week's blowout loss at Tampa Bay. He had 2 interceptions, with one getting returned for a touchdown, and lost a fumble on a sack leading to another TD. Playing with a decimated receiving core and banged-up offensive line doesn't help. But Glennon didn't do himself any favors either. If the Bears decide to make a switch after the Green Bay game, they will have some extra time. Their next game after that is a Monday night matchup with Minnesota. They also have a bye in Week 9. My goal every week is the same. It's to win that week, and right now we're trying to get our first win, and that's where my focus is, Glennon said. Road rut. For all of their gaudy potential, Pittsburgh's passing offense doesn't exactly light it up away from Heinz Field. The Steelers have just 27 touchdown passes on the road since the start of 2014 season, compared to 69 at home over that span. Roethlisberger, however, has just 1 turnover, an interception, this season, and the Steelers can live without the touchdowns so long as he doesn't give the ball to the other team. Grounded. While the quarterback debate continues in Chicago, it's not as if the Bears' running game is soaring. The Bears had 20 yards rushing last week, and Jordan Howard finished with 7 yards on 9 attempts. The second-year pro has 22 carries for 59 yards through 2 games, a far cry from his rookie season last year. when he finished second to Dallas's Ezekiel Elliott with 1,313 yards rushing and averaged 5.2 per attempt.